Hello, people. Hi, my name is Yvonne McBride. This is Yvonne McBride Lit Life. And in this space, we encourage, we motivate, we support women of the African diaspora to live their dreams. If your dreams include becoming a writer, becoming a travel host or traveler, solo traveler, this is the spot for you today. I am excited about my guest. When I first began to think about doing a YouTube channel, this is one of the sisters who was like, just do it. Don't give it a second thought. Don't overthink it. Get in there. I was dragging my feet like, what am I going to say? So many people out here. But this sister is encouraging first. She has created a wonderful community in Panama, and I want to introduce her to you all in case Panama is on your scouting list locations. So, Charlotte Van Horn, introduce yourself to the people, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Yvonne. Congratulations on your new channel. And I would say that the biggest obstacle for us in business is just ourselves.
Yes.
Just, thinking that everything has to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. Just do it. Just do it. It gets more perfect as it goes. But I always say that opportunities are fluid. And it's like you got to catch it while it's moving
Yes.
because the thing it's gone. And as far as feeling like you don't have the audience and things like that, and so many other people doing it, nobody can be you like you, baby. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
That is it. That is it. And I'm going to tell you something. Authenticity is sexy as hell. Yes, I said it. It is. We are living in a time where anybody can be or say they are anything that they want. But real people recognize truth, truth when you hear it, and authenticity. And only you can be your authentic you. And I'm just proud of you. I know it's going to be an amazing journey. And I just want to thank you for having me on the show. I'm glad to be here.
Of course, but y'all see what I'm talking about. Y'all see, this is going to be a lively discussion. When we first talked on the phone, I think I reached out to you initially because was thinking about hosting the retreat in Panama, right?
Uh-huh.
And that conversation was like 2 hours long. We were on the
Exactly.
phone. When you, like you said, real recognize real. When you meet a kindred
Yes.
spirit, you know it immediately. So I'm glad you all are here with me today. We have about 10 people in here right now. So
Yay.
hi, Chanel. Thank you for joining us. If you are in the chat, please say hello. I don't know if you're here unless you say hello in the chat. And also, Black people, we speak when you come into the room. What would your mama say? So,
Yes. Yes.
so
And
we're gonna cover all the things, right? We're gonna get into her tours. We're gonna get into Black expats in Panama, what she offers. However, first we want to get into your journey, right?
okay. Okay.
How did you pick Panama? Why did you consider other countries? Why Panama?
Love, baby, love, 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 love brought me to Panama. Just pure and simple. Love,
Okay.
love. My husband is Panamanian, and
Uh,
I met him back in the Mississippi, the Biloxi, Mississippi streets, baby, back in 1993.
wow.
And one of the first things that he told me was that when I retire, he was in his 30s at the time. And he said, when I retire, I'm going to move back to my home country of Panama. So I was like, okay, that's nice. I was like really wild, 20 something year old. And I would just remember thinking to myself, I don't know where Panama is. I don't know what Panama is. Like, all I know is that there is nothing, absolutely nothing better than the United States of America. And I just don't know why he would even be speaking about going back to some other place. And I'm just being completely transparent because now that so many of us know better,
Right.
then that, we may not be as comfortable saying, well, I was the same way.
Right.
I was almost 30 at that time. I didn't have a passport. I didn't get a passport until I was 40. So I met my husband, and as it turns out, it worked out. You know what I'm saying? We like at 32 years at this point. So it lasted. And I think when I first came to Panama it was 2005, the January of 2005. And I just thought, wow, how cool. It was the first place that I ever traveled with my passport.
Oh wow.
Me and
Okay.
my husband, we had been married for 5 years at that point. And as we started coming back and forth, I mean, I enjoyed it. I never thought anything about living here, but I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. And then one year, I guess it was probably about 2010, I don't know why, we just decided, why don't we look for something for retirement? And by then I liked Panama enough. Now I should say I didn't have any friends.
Okay.
I didn't. I did not have any friends. I had been coming to Panama for years, and I still had not made any friends.
But he
Um,
had family there. Did he have family
he
there?
had family there. He had family there. Most of our activities centered around the family.
Right.
And so when we decided to buy something, we saw one place, and it was it. I mean, it wasn't even built yet. It was.
Oh
We
wow.
just knew exactly. We just knew. We went there, and that's a whole long story. So I'll leave some of
So
that
y'all
out.
bought immediately. You bought a house?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, we bought a house. We came to see this development in Brisas de Golf Norte, which is a suburb of Panama City. It's about 15 minutes from the city with the corridor,
All
and
right.
about 15 minutes from Tocumen Airport, which is super cool. And we came. The house wasn't built. There was a model home. The town wasn't built because the part of Brisas de Golf that I live in is the Norte, and it was just starting to develop. We were like the first planned, we call them in the States PUD, a planned urban development,
Right. Right.
in that area where it was a security gate and everything like that, because other than that, it was single homes and stuff. But we just felt it, and we just went with it. Now, I'm not suggesting that everybody do that. However, it worked for us. And we're still here, and I'm very happy with Brisas de Golf. So that's how I ended up getting here. To
Okay. So pause. Question.
Yeah,
Since he was Panamanian, he already had his citizenship there, right?
exactly.
So that's why that made it easier to buy a property there. I'm assuming.
Exactly. It
Okay.
made it easier to buy a property because he was a citizen.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I was not even a resident at that point. Like
Okay.
now that I'm a resident, I have more privilege, but a permanent resident. But yeah, an interesting thing about that was that my husband bought the house by himself, because putting a foreigner on the application would have been, would have complicated
Right.
things.
More red tape. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we didn't really need the income, my income for it. But me and my husband, we have purchased several homes during our time together, but we never purchased them together. So in
Right.
other words, I might hold the note to one, he might
Mm-hmm.
hold the note to another, but we all are on that deed.
That's how
Okay.
my mama did it. My mama did it like that too. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But in the United States, you can be on the deed
Mm-hmm.
and not be on the note. Well,
Yeah.
what I found out, what had happened was I could not be on the deed
Wow.
because I wasn't on the note. And let me tell you something, baby. I love my husband. I do. I love my husband. I
I'm
trust my
sure.
husband. We good. We good. We good. However, there's some pretty women out here in Panama. I said, shoot, wasn't them girls get a hold of my man? He lose his mind and put me out my house.
What you
You
say? You gonna be in jail in Panama? Somebody gonna find you in jail in Panama? Come get me.
baby, listen, we had to wait. I said, I'll be up here. I'll be awaiting the exhale about to happen. Shoot. Angela, that wouldn't have nothing on me. Somebody else opened my door.
Oh
So,
my God.
I have a legal background, and that just made me a little uneasy. It really did. But what they do in Panama is you got to get insurance. You have to have life insurance on your mortgages. And of
Okay.
course, if something happens to my husband, the house would transfer to me. But it took me a minute to just kind of get
Accept
out of that was
yes.
that first sign that I was no longer in the US.
Yes. Yes. So we'll talk about acclimating to different different rules and different cultures and all of that. We're going to get to that more later. But I want to say hi to the people who are in here. Thank you, Phyllis, for joining us. Thank you, Cynthia, for joining us. Also, other people are in the room. Say hello. I'm
Hello.
I'm assuming some of these people are from your
They,
network.
they sound familiar. They sound like family. They
Yeah.
sound like some big family.
Yes. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about acclimating to a new environment, right? Um, you said when you first thought about moving, you didn't have any friends there yet. Did you did you feel welcome? Did it feel like, okay, welcome home? Did they receive you, or did it take some time adjusting to the culture?
Honestly, when I first started coming here 20 years ago, I did not necessarily feel welcomed. I
Okay.
did not. And I think that I know now why. There was a shift in Panama history where it became faux pas to speak English. And
Okay.
so there was a point where a lot of people, particularly the Black people in Panama, who's the descendants of Jamaica,
Yeah.
Trinidad, Barbados. They came here. Their people came here speaking, English, and
Right.
so they learned Spanish. But then it came a little switch where it was frowned upon. So now you have like some generations of people who would have normally back in the day spoke English and don't. So
Right.
back when I started coming 20 years ago, there weren't nearly as many people speaking English in Panama City area as there
Oh,
are now.
all right.
So that is increased with the increased interest in Panama. So I guess what people started realizing is that, dag, these tourists are coming. Now managers want you to speak, want you to be
Yeah.
bilingual English. Hi, Phyllis. And so then it started to become more popular. But back when I first came, the good thing about living in Panama is that we look like Panamanians.
Okay.
Okay. We
Yeah.
look like Panamanians. So people would come up and speak Spanish
Right.
to me, but when you didn't speak Spanish back, if they would turn and walk away. Even in the stores, it was just too hard, I guess, to try to figure all that out. And I just
This
felt
was when
shocked.
you said you moved there when? Permanently?
I moved here permanently in 2021. We
Okay.
bought our house. Our house was finalized in 2012. But I'm
Okay.
talking about when we first started coming here back in 2005,
Got you.
2005.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's gotten a lot better. It's totally better now. You're much better received. But I do have something to compare it to because I have been coming here for so long.
Right. So you didn't feel like immediately welcome. How do you think that was part of the society, it seems like, but did you think it was part of, some responsibility was on you? Were you shy? Did you go out? Did you try to make connections there?
You got jokes too, right? Was I shy? Was I shy? Girl, you know I wasn't no shy. But I guess in a way, if you ever wanted to call me shy, it would definitely, be more true when it comes to me being in a place where I don't know what nobody is saying, you
Okay.
know.
Got you.
But I think to be honest with you, and I just, I'm just myself. That's all I can be. And I'll just be honest with you. I feel like part of it was my responsibility because I came with a US attitude.
Okay.
I said what I said.
Okay.
That's just the truth about it. We expect that people are going to be stank,
Yeah.
and if they're acting some kind of way, I'm like, what's wrong with her? You know what I'm saying? What's up?
And
You
it's
know,
we automatically think they're racist, or we automatically think.
exactly. She just doing that because I'm black.
Mhm. But you just said they thought you were Panamanian, and you walk out, they don't. They have other hues, darker hues, lighter hues there.
Yeah, but nobody really talks about it a whole lot. But
Okay.
to believe that there is no racism or colorism in Panama is a
Okay.
facade. Is
All
a facade. I said what I said.
let's get into it, because when you go to other countries, right? And then people question you when you're thinking about, okay, well, I'm gonna move to Panama. Panama life is gonna be better than the US. And they're like, well, racism is everywhere. Like, can you, because it is, right? Colorism is everywhere in every country. Um, so I don't want to say rate it, but compare racism there to how you experience it here in the US.
There is no comparison. There is no comparison. When I say that there is, the things that we recognize as North Americans are things that maybe people from other countries would never pick up on.
Okay.
First of all, our country is so black and white. It's so black and white. There's just a true white population. Whereas here, there's not really a big true white population. Everybody here is melanated to some extent.
Got you.
And I think the deepest extent of melanation will basically present in our hair, because you have people in Panama who are as dark as me or darker than me, but have straight hair,
Right.
because Panama is a very diverse nation,
Right.
very diverse country. And the thing about Panama, too, is that you sometimes don't even know who you're talking to. You could be talking to somebody and you just think they're what we used to consider Latina, or
Right.
and come to find out she's really black.
Mm-hmm.
She's really black. I just don't think that Panamanians spend a whole lot of time identifying themselves, as black or other. They're very proud Panamanians. So this is a culture that we have. That we kind of. I'm very, very. I don't say a whole lot about it because
But is that's
it's
our
not my
outlook.
place.
If you're coming from the US, that's your outlook, right? So you have to
Yes.
change once. It'll take you a while to acclimate to a different, from to nationality, right? From your race to a community who embraces nationality as opposed to your race, or
You're
your
absolutely, that is absolute correct assessment. And I think that even though, like you said, Panama is a melanated country, but sometimes you still feel something.
Mhm.
And I feel like I reject the I reject the inclination to feel that it's racism immediately.
Right.
I don't, I've learned not to let that be my first thought.
Right.
And if that is my first thought, instinctively, and a lot of times in the United States, you're exactly right on with that thought, right?
Yeah.
But I have learned to, not let that be my first thought and not let that be pervasive for me. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy here. Panama is certainly less than perfect. I feel like some people who are international now, they love their country, their new country so much. And it just seems like, I think for some North Americans, it just seems like international black expats are just making it like, nah, 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 nah. I'm here and it's perfect and it's sunny, okay? And it's like the water is like
Yeah.
totally clear
Yeah.
and everything is like everything and it's kumbaya. And people get tired of that,
They
because
want to know the real. What is
yeah,
the real? Yeah.
yes. But I don't think that it's intentional. What I think is that whatever issues they're having, remember, you're in another country because you want to be,
Right.
not because that's where you were born and that is your default home. Okay. So I think that for some of them, for some of us, it's just that the things that are wrong are so insignificant when compared to the things that are right, and
Yes.
compared to the issues that we had in the States, that we just don't dwell on those things.
And you don't have to confront them every day. The oppression, the mass shootings, all of that. When you go outside, when you just travel, you don't even have to move somewhere. When you go outside and travel to other places,
Hmm.
all of that is taken off your shoulders, right? And you
Hmm.
can just be. You could just be. and exist and think outside the box and think about, what other things you want to do with your life, or which brings me to my next question. Like, how do you think Panama has changed you as a person, right? Living there, your experience there. Compare your US self to your Panamanian self.
Well, Panama has made me a little bit of a celebrity. That never happened in the States. I mean,
Anonymous here. Okay.
honestly, yes, right? Um, a little bit. But I think the comparison is that here I have more time just to do the things that are meaningful to me in my life. Whereas in the States, a lot of what I did or a lot of my daily routine was about making money, um, and making money and also just, you know, having the best of some things. I think I'm a much more peaceful person now. The
Okay.
peace that surpasses all understanding, is definitely what stands out for me in my life here.
So let's talk about that for a minute. Like right now, you are. I describe you as a community architect, right?
Hmm, hmm,
Because that's essentially what you are, right? Yes, you are the founder of Black Expats in Panama. Yes, you are the host of the cultural tours. However, what you've done there is created a safe place, right,
mhm,
for us to land once we get there.
mhm,
Um, and you could have just, you could have just got there, lived your best life, said, "Okay, I'm fine now." You know what I mean? Like, y'all handle your own, or just leave people with a little crumbs, right? But you created this whole business, you created this whole community. Some of you are in here today, of women, I'm assuming families as well. Like,
mhm.
what made you do that? What was the calling?
Okay, that's a very good question, and I have a very straight answer. George Floyd, Karen in the Park, Donald Trump, and COVID on that day in May changed my life.
Wow. Okay.
Changed my life. It changed the trajectory of what was already created. Black Expats in Panama was already created. It was created in 2019
Okay.
as a Facebook group, because I was going to do hair. That's what I was going to do. I was going to do hair when I got here. And then when that happened, um, we went from maybe 200, people in the group in a year to probably by the end of that year, we had over 2,000.
Wow.
And people, yes, and
Oh, they were
people,
because people were gone. They were ready, just like now, right?
they
Yes.
were just, they were just curious.
Yes.
That day, those incidents, us watching George Floyd die, it hit a chord. And as we know, it struck a chord throughout the entire world.
Yes.
It was just like, really? This is just too much. And all of a sudden, just like it was the only thing that has that time beat as far as growth and engagement was this election. This election, if you want to get on a Black Expats in Panama cultural relocation tour, you need to book it today.
Wow.
Book it
Sold
today.
out.
Book it today. We are sold out like the first half of the year.
Wow.
Yes, we had to add another tour in April to try to, we were able to add another tour in April to try to accommodate, but we just couldn't put any more responsibly on a tour. And
Good.
we, for the first time, we're probably halfway sold out for December of 2025.
People are ready. We ready to go.
Ready,
We
ready,
out of here.
ready
Yes.
to go.
Yes.
So that's what happened, in 2020, May of 2020. and people started contacting the page and saying, okay, so what is Panama about? Are there Black people there? Is it police brutality? What is the healthcare system like? You know,
Right.
what do you need to be able to come and stay there? And I'm like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I was like, that wasn't my angle, you know?
Yes.
So
Yes. You had to
this
find
was
out.
created. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
This was created out of a need,
Yes.
out of people coming to me and asking these questions. And, you know, I had been looking, there's a lot of Black expat this or Black expat that now. But, and I really don't know what Black expat stuff was happening in other countries, but I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, there was no Black expat anything in Panama. Okay. Because guess
Tell
what?
'em.
I would have joined their group.
Yes.
Because I would have joined their group because I was looking for Black expats in
Yes.
Panama. And then finally, the Holy Spirit, and I don't care who I'm talking to, I'm always going to give God the glory, okay? Because I am not so smart, okay? The Holy Spirit said to me, girl, if you don't build that thing.
Yes.
So he not only had me create a group, but he had me create a page, a matching page, and he had me to get a trademark on it. While nobody was thinking about Black expat in Panama, nothing.
Wow.
So I created that, and that is how that started. And then the way it all continued to grow was still you started getting thousands of people in the group, and somebody saying, well, what are y'all doing for singles? Or what are you doing? You know, what about the kids? And,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it's like everybody is expecting me to create yet another. So I have all these subgroups, you know, and it just kind of grew into a community. Um, I have a form that I let people fill out in case something happens to them when they're here. You know, they call me Harriet or Big Mama. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Of course, we got some knuckleheads, okay, because it is what it is. But for the most part, I love being here. I love the camaraderie with Black people and Panamanians here. I love just seeing people who are in their 60s and 70s, like living their best life. I love looking at people who came on my tour maybe 2 years ago and are already living here. And you look at a picture of them when they came on that tour, and
Mm,
you look at a picture of them when they're living here, they look so much younger.
yes. That's what we that's so my channel is about transformation, right?
Mm-hmm.
About making choices in life to say you don't have this is not how it has to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Getting up 9 to 5, existing and not, existing, right? Not
Exist.
thriving. And we just want to show people that there's another open the portal to another world. And that's what you did for yourself. You did it without, you said you didn't know of any other, right?
Mm-mm.
Communities, especially in Panama. You created this. So we're going to throw into trailblazer. You know what I mean? You
Mm-hmm.
created this for other people to see Panama. You can live here, you can thrive here, you can have community here. But you just talked about the transformation, the difference, the when you reinvent yourself, right? You can see that clearly in the people you've helped get there,
Yes. Yes.
and the transformation in yourself. Like what were you doing here in the US?
Sister Locks consultant.
Got you.
I
Okay.
was a brand ambassador for Sister Locks, and the plan was to do Sister Locks here. So,
Hmm.
giving a shout out to Tirsa Blanford, who was the young lady who I trained to retighten my Sister Locks. You know, I actually trained her to do interlocks because I couldn't continue to do Sister Locks because the business just got too busy. And
Okay.
so she took over for me. So she doesn't do Sister Locks, but she does interlocks. You have to be licensed by Sister Locks to do Sister Locks. But so I trained her to do interlocks. She's got a thriving business.
Okay. So so moving there opened you up to different possibilities of what you can be. You didn't even think about having you wasn't even thinking about having a tour, being a tour host.
No.
hosting a whole community of people, ushering them to live abroad.
I always thought Phyllis is coming on the tour in February. And Cheryl said, thanks for freeing her. That's a give us free, damn it. Give
Give
us
us
free.
free. That is taped to my wall.
Give
Give me
us
free, baby.
free.
Give me free. Goodness. Yes. Yes.
Um, there's so many opportunities here. And I was going to say something else, but give us that thing free. Just took
Yes.
my mind to another place. So I'll yield.
We were talking about coming there and creating different businesses, opening up your mind to what else you can do, who you can grow into. You might work a 9 to 5 here, but you never know who you can become in another environment, right?
Yes. I think that's the exciting part, Yvonne, is that there are so many of us in our 60s. There are younger people here too. Don't
Yeah,
get me
yeah.
wrong, but a majority of expats, I think, is still people that are either retirement age or close to retirement age. But to see people, 50 or 60 years old learning how to swim,
Yes.
learning how to play an instrument,
Yes.
tapping into that artistic side, there's something about Panama that it encourages creativity. So you have that, and it's just an amazing thing to see. It really is. I went to my friend, client, sister, girlfriend, Marilyn's birthday party. She turned 70, and she zip lined. She
Wow.
zip lined. There's a little zip line at dinner, and Marilyn zip lined, honey, with her little sequins on. And I was just like, you know how liberating and freeing that is? Do
Yes.
you know how many people who are in their 60s who haven't had a new friend in forever? We have our friends, like, for example, Cornell and Gloria Evans. They came on a tour and they hurried up and moved here. They had just been here. I don't know how it was. I know it was less than 3 months. But Gloria just decided at the last minute she wanted to have a few people over, meet a few people at dinner for her birthday. Baby, there were over 20 Black expats at this thing. And I'm talking, where do you go?
Yes.
It took me 8 years to make a friend in Panama. Let's just talk about that, because
Wow.
there was no Black expats in Panama.
Wow.
At that time, there was no soft landing. There was nobody to tell me stay at this hotel,
Oh,
talk to this attorney, meet with this group. If you want to do that, meet with this group. If you want to do that, there was none of that. It
yes.
took me 8 years to make a friend, and my first friend was Gigi. And she's still my neighbor down the street. My first friend in Panama. I love her. We walk in the morning still. Yeah.
So, so this is all about some community. We're talking about community. This is what it's about. You don't have to do this alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to reinvent the wheel like Charlotte had to do. It won't take you 8 years to have a friend. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to go to Panama, if you are dreaming, just check it out to scout it. She just
Mm-hmm.
said her tours are selling out. When is the next available openings that you have?
The next available opening is April 15th.
Okay.
That's the tour that I added.
Okay.
So everything else between January and April is sold out, except for that one. There's still some spaces in May, June, July, August, September. We still got spaces left. But all of those tours are sold out, and they're sold out with a lot more numbers than we
Yes.
typically take, because I extended it because people just really wanted to come. And I've also extended the 2024 prices into 2025, which I'm probably not going to be able to do that like indefinitely.
Okay.
So you want to lock in. Once you're locked in, you're locked in. Once the price goes up, it's just up, because at this point we're actually operating on 2023,
Okay.
because I
Prices.
usually
Right.
set the prices. I set the prices for the next year during the previous year,
Gotcha.
right? And
Right.
so it's time that we will need to increase our
So
prices
you're about to
soon.
plan for 26. So you're saying,
2026,
yeah,
2026, because we never raised the price for 2025.
got you. Okay.
So we're still actually on prices that I established for 2024 in 2023.
Got you.
So for me, and not to say I'm Rockefeller or anything like that, but I believe that probably the reason why the business does so well, and I, know that all money ain't good money, and I don't want everybody's money, is because I don't do it for I
Yes.
don't do it for money. I don't want everybody's money. I don't do it for money. And I think that's why it cometh.
Right.
And, we started this business in 2021 was my first tour. So I started this business from a grassroots situation, 2021. For people that are building your business, it's nothing that is, well, there's a lot of other things too, but it makes me very proud to have built a business from one, to have built my own Facebook group, not taking somebody else's.
Yes.
Okay. I built my own Facebook group from one. I
Yes.
was the one. I
And you did
toiled.
it by yourself. You didn't have help. You didn't have people money to
No.
hire help.
No, not
Yes.
absolutely not. We're just really getting to that place. I'm a lot less present, as far as the Facebook group interactions and things like that, because I have had to hire people to do that. But I'm
Right.
going to tell you this, and I don't think I've told anybody else publicly yet, Yvonne, but I'm going to tell you this.
It's an announcement.
This is an announcement. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you about trusting God, going in the direction that he has for me. Listen, every day I pray for wisdom and witty ideas and inventions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he blesses me every day with ideas that are just too much for me to keep to myself. There are a lot of people who I bless with business ideas and strategies. But I will tell you that the end of the year, 2024, we were almost at $900,000 in sales.
Wow.
Yep,
Wow.
yep.
That was
Almost
you said
900
2023.
20 no 20 for 2024.
Okay.
Our gross sales or for our tours was somewhere around 885,000. Listen, that's another ball game.
That
So that's
that's
another
leveling up.
ball.
Was your theme for the year leveling up?
It might as well have been,
Yes.
and the thing about it is my head is so in the grind. There are people who compete with me that I don't even know who are competing, because you know what? I ain't got time to
There's no
watch you. I
competition.
don't have time to watch you. I don't have time to worry about what other people are doing. The reason that $1 million in sales almost crept up on me is because I was not counting the dollars.
Yes.
What I was doing was counting the people, baby, who
And
was getting set free up in this piece.
and
You
because of the
understand?
authenticity. We talked about authenticity earlier. Your tribe is in here. They are congratulating you, but it's the spirit.
Thank you.
It's the spirit that you share. It's the welcoming that you have brought when people come near. That's why you got the numbers.
And you come here and just think about all the money that has meant to Panama.
Yes.
All of the people who Black expats in Panama have bought on our tours. And we bought on our tours. They come back, even when sometimes they come back a few times before they settle. I'm about to do a program with Black tour guides here that's going to blow the minds of many, and it's going to set Black tour guides so that they have a niche of their own, that you can't be in, that you can't have that without having the
Yes.
melanated skin.
Yes.
Black people want Black people to tell them Black history.
Yes.
Okay. I'll
Yes.
give you a clue.
So let's get into the cultural tours, right? I
Okay.
just put the link in the chat. It's also below the video. What do people get when they come on the tour? What, give us a taste. What are they experiencing?
Okay. Well, Right now, and the reason why we can't do tours every week is because I accompany every tour. So I accompany every tour. So what you get is you get me, first of all, baby. Okay. I stay at the hotel with you,
Yes,
so you know that if it's okay for me, if it's okay for you.
yes, yes.
I'm not
What's your
taking you
standard?
nowhere.
Yes,
I'm not taking you nowhere. I don't want to be myself. I'm there with you every single day. So it starts off with um we have Zoom calls. So that is like the beginning. We start off, we have with about 60 days prior to your tour, you get a message from us and you say, hey, this is we're going to have two Zoom calls. One's going to be around 30 days before your tour. The other one's going to be around 7 days before your tour. The first one is the meet and greet. We have a lot of women and a lot of solo travelers, and this Zoom call makes such a difference for them because they get to kind of see and connect. You introduce yourself. People say, yeah, where you from? Yay, Jersey in the house. So we already like start to connect. Everything that we do, we make fun. We make fun, we make lively because it's for us by us.
right.
That's my tour. My tour is for us by us. Not to say that other people can't come, but you need to understand that you are not my audience.
Yes,
My audience, and this is for my people. And you're welcome to come as long as
yes,
you understand lanes and boundaries, because
yes,
this is a place and a tour that you can come on and say whatever is on your mind and know that somebody's not going to look at you crazy because we all know what you're talking about. So that's the kind of intimacy. I don't need everybody's money.
yes.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? But I want to serve our people. So
Because so
you,
many people don't, right? You said
yes.
you got there
So,
and you couldn't find any communities. You couldn't find communities.
yes. And I'm going to tell you the other thing they don't. The other thing is it is not natural or automatic for you to travel anywhere and have Black history on the menu.
Mm,
Okay, you're going to get the history they want to tell you.
mm.
They can tell you all day long about that Panama Canal, but they are not going to get into the deep. How, first of all, the US came here and just solidified that racism, that gold and silver role, and how Black people died
Tell
building that
them.
canal.
Yes,
They want to talk about the US did this, the US did that. Listen, Black people built that canal.
tell them.
Black people built that canal. People from Jamaica,
Come
Trinidad,
on.
Barbados,
Come on, Charles.
so all of that. And then you wonder why Panama is so, people come in there like, dang, it's so nice here. It's so flavorful because it's Caribbean.
Yes.
It's the Black people that have infused their culture and history into the Latin culture and history that make it so special.
Yes.
So that's one thing you're going to get on my tour that you're not getting on other people's tours. You're going to get not only the information about Panama, as a whole, we're going to know the history of the country we're coming to. But in addition to that, you're going to get the Black history here. You're not going to come here ignorant about what Black people have done for this country. And I always said, what if people found out and was taught what we did for the United States before they start coming and
Yes.
expecting that all of us are wearing our pants down to our ankles and
Yes.
somebody baby mama or baby daddy?
Yes.
They come with a disrespect because of the media and because of just absolute ignorance and withholding of information. Well, you're not going to get that on my tour. And if you're not interested in learning about what Black people have done for this country, my tour is not for you. Okay, so my tour is not just that. I apparently am the creator of the cultural relocation tour. I did not know that. Look at God, right? I just found somebody just told me that recently. I'm like, well, look at God. Won't he do it?
Yes.
Because there are cultural tours and
Yes.
there are relocation tours. But this is a cultural relocation tour. So every day we have culture and we have relocation. Very important. We pick you up from the airport. We have a WhatsApp group chat. You put in that chat when you land, and our drivers, our logistic team is awesome. They're out there with the Black Expats in Panama sign. Soon as you step out the door, we are. It's very important for us that you start your vacation without no hiccups. Just get off the plane, get through customs, and bam, get in that ride and off to the hotel you go. That's what we strive for, and we do very good at that. So that evening is the first night. That is welcome night. That is welcome dinner.
Okay.
And the welcome dinner, you get your little swag bags, because I do swag bags, baby. You know it. Swag bags. You meet the professionals. We have an amazing team. We got a realtor, a lawyer, a
Oh,
doctor, a moving company, and an insurance broker that's going to be there to answer your questions right there on the spot that night. You'll have contact information for them. They all offer free consultations, and you get to connect with them. You know that they're there. The next day, we have the city and suburb tour. In the
okay.
city and suburb, we do just that, city, suburbs. We show you what it's like to live up high, to live in duplexes and, gated communities, single family. We try to mix it up. We show all new things because it's just easier to take groups to model homes. Okay. So that's the city. We mix it up. We do a stop in the morning at the Mi Pueblito, which is like they call it an amusement park, but it's really not. It's replicas of houses that were lived in by Black people,
Right.
back in the day. And, we have an amazing Afro-Panamanian historian who is our tour guide, Tio. And Tio breaks it all down to you. Tio said that he had studied Afro-Panamanian culture and history. He comes from a family of scholars. And he said he had been in the business for 20 years and nobody ever asked him for it. That part was.
Wow.
And he said, I got all this information in my head and no one has ever asked me for it.
Until what? Until who?
Until Black expats in Panama said, no, we only want
need this.
an Afro-Panamanian. And it was just a blessing that we connected, and he has been with us from the beginning. So, we do that cultural stop. We do the city suburb. Then we do, we have lunch at an Afro-Panamanian restaurant, which is amazing. They get their belly full. We finish up our city tour, and then we go over to the JW Marriott, where our realtors are located, House Hunters Panama.
You,
And then we end the day overlooking the water at the Marriott, where the La Vespa has created a cocktail specifically for Black expats in Panama, and it's named the Sankofa, and it's only available to our groups. Yes.
I'm coming. When is the next? Baby, I'm coming. What? Oh my God. And what?
Oh my God.
This is day what? This is day what?
That is day 2. Day 3, baby, look, you ain't ready. So every day, I'm telling you, I kiki it and laugh and joke a lot. However, common, we do have provisions for vegans and vegetarians
Okay.
as well. But we get the work done. We leave every day at 8. So be ready, okay? I'll tell you about the hotel too. The hotel that we stay at is Torres de Alba. I tell everybody to your face, Torres de Alba is not the Hilton. Torres de Alba is not the Marriott, but Torres de Alba is very nice, and it has very good ratings, and it's an apartment. It is a 1-bedroom apartment.
Right?
Huh?
You're choosing this because it's locally owned, right?
Locally owned, but I'm choosing it because I like it too.
Yes.
I stay there. It's the only hotel that I typically stay at in the city before I had my home. And so I have a relationship with the Black executive there, Derek Lashley, and he takes good care of us, So as long as that's still good, as long as people are happy with it, that's what we do.
Yes.
We're not at the hotel all day, we gone all day. But when you get back, if you're a vegetarian, if you want to just have fresh food in your refrigerator, you got a refrigerator, a washer, a dryer, a stove, an oven, 2 TVs. This is one unit. And so it's like really experiencing living in an apartment and while you're on the tour. And there are a lot of Black expats who actually live there. They've taken a lease and they live there. So let me just hurry up. So then, okay, the third day. Third day is turn up day, bay. This is the day that Everybody gets to cut loose. Listen,
This is
we
party
finna
day.
have
This is party day.
we do mimosas on the bus. What?
Mhm.
Girl, we got a DJ on the bus. It's old school. It's reggae. It's house. It's we have our bathing suits. We go to Cologne. That's our day. We take it to it's our cultural Caribbean day in Cologne,
Okay.
and usually on the third of the month, and we let people come to that outside. So the people on the
Okay.
tour,
Tell people what cologne is. Tell them people.
Cologne is a black city outside of Panama City. It's about an hour or so down the road. And Cologne is like so many other cities in the United States that are black and that everybody tells you not to go to. That's it. Cologne is the boogeyman. Cologne is the boogeyman.
Oh, we
You
going
know,
straight. That's where I
you
like to go. When I
go.
travel, I want to go where the black people are. I want to
That's it.
go. I want to experience them. I want to get to know them. I want to get to know my cousins, my Afro Latina, my Afro Caribbean. That's where I want to go.
I think that we have our tour. When I created this tour, I said I'm going to Cologne, and everybody told me not to. And I really took a chance in doing it because I hadn't been to Cologne in 14 years.
Right.
And it was COVID, so I really couldn't check it out, but I knew it had to be there. Turns out it was the amazing thing about our tour. And to be able to go to Cologne, you're in a safe environment, you're with people who know where they are and what's happening and what's going on, to learn what the history of Cologne is, to see why the city is depressed, and
Yeah.
then also to see the beautiful coast that nobody talks about.
Mm.
I said what I said. Y'all don't y'all sleep on Cologne. We
Mm.
got some great news coming out of Cologne for our groups, and I'll be announcing that soon. But we go there. We go to the city. We go to a black-owned restaurant, and we have lunch over the water. We experience the Congo dancers who have maintained the Congo history for hundreds of years in that little town of Portobello, Cologne. We have an amazing relationship with them. We also go to see the Black Christ. There's a museum about the Maroons. Girl, listen, it is a whole cultural day. Then we roll out a little bit further. We get on water taxis and go to a private island where we are greeted with coconuts and huts and just clear, warm water. I
Coming.
mean, whoa.
Coming.
So then we come back. It's an 8 to 8 day. Then
Oh,
the last day is we go to the beach. So we let you people see what it's like to live in Coronado. Up until recently, there's not been a lot of interest in Black expats or expats in general wanting to live in the province of Cologne. But guess what? This tour, we had 6 people that want to know more about living in Cologne, and we could not be more excited
wow.
about that. So we are on it, baby. And then we show them Cologne, we show them Coronado on the fourth day, and places to live there. We have a beautiful lunch at one of the like country club restaurants, and then we come back. We have a farewell dinner. We have some more infused culture, and then the last day they get to see the Panama Canal and Casco Viejo, and we transport them back to the airport.
Listen, you have sold this. You have sold this. Listen, you have sold this tour. I have put the link to the location tour and the cultural tour
Yes.
in the comments, is also under this video. But baby, you sold that. You sold
I love it.
that.
I believe in it. I believe in it, and it gets better all the time. We just hosted a group of 30 women over 60, just finished the tour on the 12th, and they were like, Charlotte, you thought of everything. They felt like they were so taken care of because we love on them. And I know, let's be clear, that sometimes our biggest critics is our own people.
Yes.
And you have people come on this tour, and I know that some people, they want to come because they're curious, but in the back of their mind, they're thinking the white man's ice is colder. You know how they used to say the white man's ice is colder.
Or just not, they haven't just like you said, when you were in your 20s, you thought that United States was the best thing, out here. And you do get the naysayers, like even 2025. Why you wanted to? Why would you want it? And what's over there that you all of that? Mm-mm,
Yes.
mm-mm.
Yes. Yes. But
And
see it for yourself.
yeah,
Don't even believe me, y'all. You know, because a lot of this is my opinion, is my experience. Even though my experience, you can be trusted. You can trust it because I deal with hundreds of Black expats and prospects. But you need to see things for yourself.
yes,
Don't talk yourself out of experiencing something that could be life changing for you. See
just
it for
check it
yourself.
out. Just check. You lose nothing. You lose
Nothing.
nothing by checking it out, to going to see it, experience it for 3 weeks, a month. You lose nothing. You can always come back. You can
Yeah.
always come back. Cheryl is testifying. She says she got her whole life, everything. Yes, with the turn up, back of the bus
Back
from
to the bus. That DJ Savannah be putting it down, baby. You know, it's constantly, you know how we do. It's constantly like, oh no. People be up in the aisles dancing and everything. It's our relaxed day. It's our relaxed day. It's our let's just have a good time and let's just enjoy this life that we have to the extent that we can because it's not promised.
Yes, at all. And Panama is on my scouting list. I need to be able to get back and forth from the US. So
Very easy.
on my scouting list, when I make it over there, y'all, I'm gonna document it for you.
Okay.
It's gonna be soon. Now she done sold this to me. I wasn't planning to go till next year, but I'm coming. Um, talk about what are you your other things you have a meetup coming up.
I do. I am having my second meetup in the United States because that is where I'm located here in Panama, but my base is definitely the United States. So we did a meetup last April in Atlanta,
Okay.
Atlanta, Texas, or Dallas, New York City,
Okay.
Charlotte. There's some of our most popular states that are places that follow us. But
Okay.
I'll be in Miami on the 17th for a meetup. Please, y'all, don't come
Don't come. She's
because
packed. It's sold
don't
out already.
come.
Listen, this
Yes, it's
she be
gone.
doing it. It's sold out already. But what
Yes.
is the meetup? Is the meetup to give them what you've been giving us, like the idea of what it is to be in Panama? What is the meetup all about?
The meetup is, I was just kind of formulating as I go. I just thought, let's do this. But the meetup is going to be a meet and greet.
Okay.
The meetup, you will have an opportunity to ask some questions. There'll probably be some people there from different phases of their transition of
Okay.
relocation that you can meet and just kind of get a feel for just sometimes if you're thinking about doing something to be able to deal with a person that you've been watching on the YouTube,
Yes. In
for so
person.
many years, just to get the touch of feel and
Yeah.
ask those questions up close and personal. It just helps connect you to your mission.
And it's giving you a community of women who believe and are thriving for the same things you are, for the same change you are. We just got done talking about how naysayers can get in your head and why you want to do this and questioning your motives and all of this. But the meetups are where you meet your new community, right? Meet people
Right.
who are want to encourage you, your accountability partners. This is what a meetup is like. But her Miami meetup is sold out. When is the next one? Do you have a date
I
for it?
don't have it. I don't have one scheduled yet, but I do have to say that our meetup is not all women. And guess what? Men bring their wives on this tour. Men follow me, and cause I'm fine.
Yeah, say that. You better say it. She's married, y'all,
No,
but she's
no, I'm just playing. No, men, they come on the tour and they say they was just going through the motions, and then they said this one guy, he said, matter of fact, more than one guy have said. Then I seen this chick that said, "Baby," and he said, "Who is this?" So then their wives start watching, and we just become family. We just become family. So it's not just women. Women are leading the Black Sit.
yes.
Okay. Older women are leading the Black by themselves, but there's a lot of couples who come on our tours. There's and biracial couples come on our tours, completely welcome. We have same-sex marriage couples that come on our tour, completely welcome. And everybody, we're family. We're
I love
family. We love our people.
I love it.
We
Can you
love our
have
people.
you counted how many people you have helped to make the transition to come to?
Okay. Okay. I have a new business strategist, and she told me that I need to be, we need to be more intentional. Like
Yeah,
we say, I
yeah,
just be
yeah,
in the grind.
yeah.
So I have actually just done an exercise. And right now, I think we're about 60.
Okay, that's
We're
a nice
about
number.
60 people who have
Made
moved
the
here
whole.
after coming on the tour.
Yes.
And then,
Okay.
I've brought hundreds of people to Panama, but some of those tours were not necessarily relocation tours,
Okay.
but because of me and, them getting to meet Black expats when they're on the tour, some of them are starting to move here too.
Right, because the cultural tour is just that. If you are in Panama and you want to go see, if you want some day
Yes,
tours, you can book a cultural tour, but that's not
that's it.
necessarily a relocation tour. Yeah.
No, it's not. It is part of the relocation tour. So the people who are on that 5-day tour, they get that. It's part of their package. If you want to come with us, and by the
Gotcha.
way, February 3rd is sold out. But if you want to come with us on that Cultural Caribbean Day to Cologne, it's $150 per person. If you've been on the tour before, because people come 3, 4, 5 times. I'm
Yes.
telling you, it's live.
Yes.
And if you've been on the tour, we
I'm
take
coming.
$20 off.
I
Yes,
am
we take.
coming. Listen, I'm so excited. You are a great saleswoman. Um, okay. All right. We gotta talk about one more thing. Your meetups, your trips to Ghana.
Okay.
Was last year your first trip to Ghana?
No, last year was the first time I published a trip to Ghana. The
Okay.
trip was actually October. So we put out I told them it was coming. We're going to Ghana. And within 5 days, I had sold 40 slots to Ghana. Then everybody was upset. They didn't get to see it and everything. I mean, they was upset. I opened another tour. So I'm going to Ghana October and November of 2025, and my maximum on that tour is 40. So it's
Okay.
like 40 people on the first one. The second tour, which is November 10th through the 18th, I think, that one, we still have maybe 3 to 5 spaces left.
Okay. And
And that kind
that's
of that's a cultural experience, not necessarily a relocation
right.
tour, but you will have access to relocation information when you're there on the tour.
When what the dates? Give me the dates for the Ghana tour again.
I want to say October 17th through the 25th is the first one that's sold out. Then it's November 10th through the 18th of 2025. That is the second one. But this is the cultural part of our business. This is Beat Tours, and we're going to Brazil in
Okay.
2020 April of 2026,
Okay.
and we're going to Puerto Rico in January of 2026. We've been to Colombia. We've been to Egypt. We've been to Cuba.
Okay. I
We've
love
been to
Cuba.
Belize. And I'm going back. I'm taking a group back to Belize for a day tour while we're on a cruise.
So get in. You see, you just listed all the tours that she's getting, that she's opened, but
Hmm.
Ghana in November is under the video. Get that link. I'm a little verklempt right now. I created this channel. I wanted it to be for Black and brown women, right? I wanted
Hmm.
it to be because we have, for so long separated
Hmm.
those things. And
Hmm.
like you said, throughout the after COVID, throughout the years and all of the trauma that we've all experienced, right?
Hmm.
And I think it's important that we unite in some way, right? Especially
Hmm.
with us moving to Latin communities, Latin countries, right? It's important that we have some type of interaction and conversations and join together as Black and brown people.
Hmm.
Michelle Watson of Ingenuity Gourmet Tea and Spices is in the chat. She is also Afro-Panamanian.
Mm-hmm.
She lived there. I think she grew up there. Correct me. Um, most of her childhood, and just having you both here at the same time in this space
Hola.
really, really warms my heart, because this is really what I wanted this channel to be about, talking about expanding our views, our outlook,
Yes.
and joining, with the Afro Caribbean community. So thanks for making it, Michelle. Glad you're here.
The diaspora,
Yeah.
that's what it's about. And so when I'm not doing the cultural relocation tour, I do cultural tours. So I have just think that we need to vacation in a different way.
Yes.
We need a vacation in a different way. I have got people to start thinking about asking, what's the Afro, what's the African history, what's the Black history here,
Yes.
and connect, see how we connect with the diaspora. Like my tour guide says often, we don't have to go back to Africa to connect.
Yes.
We don't. We
Yes.
don't.
And how he said earlier, like, Afro Panamanians built the canal, built the Panama Canal,
That's
built the
it.
city up, like without, and he had all this information and no one asked him for it, right?
Yes.
So we have to, if we don't ask for it, then who's going to ask for it, right?
Right.
If we
Right.
don't, if we don't want to be immersed in the culture, then who else is going to be, asking to do that? I
And
think,
when you ask, just think about all the people that you employ. When you start asking, when we start asking, we want more. We want more. We want to come to Panama and we want to know the Black history. When we get there, who's going to give us that history?
yes,
If we asked for it, the demand will be greater. And, that will be a plus for Black tour guides. I have a young lady in my office, my lovely assistant, Ashanti. Ashanti has a tourism degree. They're very serious about tourism here. By the way, Black Expats in Panama is a fully licensed tour operator in Panama. And, some of the people that take you on tours ask them for their license. But aside from that, she has a degree in tourism,
okay,
and tour guides are certified. Um, but she was telling me that sometimes it's not easy for Black tour guides to get into the business.
wow,
So she is so thrilled to be a part of Black
yes,
Expats in Panama. She said she'd be on the train with her little shirt and stuff, and people be like, "What is that?" And
yes,
she says, "I work for a Black-owned company."
yes. She creating jobs, ma'am. Yes.
Yes,
Oh my
we
God.
have our entire company is Black-owned and operated entirely. We use as many vendors and associates, affiliates as we can who are Black. Ultimately, what's going to win out is service.
Yes.
Because I really don't care how Black you are if you're not treating my people right. You know what I'm saying? I really don't care. I really don't care what people think, that I have some non-Black people who are serving them when they come on my tour. I got the best people serving you. And
Yes.
you don't know the number of people I've been through or tried to work with before we came to those conclusions. So don't do it.
And don't question.
Don't do it.
Michelle's in here. She says, "Hola, Miss Charlotte. My mom was born and raised in Gumbo. My
Wow.
grandfather was a tugboat
Gamboa.
captain for the
Mhm.
Panama Canal Commission, and yes, I lived in Panama for a period of time."
Wow. Awesomeness. A Panama, he was a captain for the Panama Canal Commission. That's serious. He was a bad boy. Yes. Not everybody got to do that.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing that. Yes, and they have an event every year where we go out, and sometimes there's an organization here that honors the quote unquote diggers. The black men that built the canal are sometimes referred to as diggers,
Okay.
and
Y'all get
they
lessons. Listen to the
yeah,
lessons.
they
Okay.
honor they honor their lives at least once a year. We go out on in the canal, and we put flowers out for them and just recognize the contributions of the West Indians to the canal, the Caribbean people. There is an organization here called SAMAP. It's the acronym is SAMAAP, and it's like Mi Amigas of the Afro Antillano people, or something like that, more commonly referred to as the West Indian Museum. And
Okay.
they have been around self sustained pretty much for the last 40 years. And they are how I learned about the Black contribution in Panama. Carmela Goburn and Melva Lowe, they're sisters who've been with that organization for a long time, and they exposed me to that history. And after that, I started bringing people to the museum. We used to donate every month. And it's just a lot of Black history you can see here. Marcus Garvey statue is here. Just amazing. The African dance, the African influence, the Jamaican influence is just nice.
Listen, y'all came in here. I don't know what y'all expected to get. I know y'all didn't expect to get all this history lessons um, from Miss Van Horn. This has been amazing.
Yeah.
If you have any questions for Charlotte, please put them in the chat. I have a question.
Okay.
Out of my own curiosity, I know Jewel was thinking about relocating to Panama and doing a tiny house community. Has
Mhm.
has anything happened in that? Not with Jewel, but has tiny houses become a thing there yet?
I wouldn't say it's become a thing, but it is available. And I just want to give a shout out to Jewel Pearson. She was on my very first tour.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Jewel Pearson was on my very first tour, and she came back for our third year anniversary. I love me some Jewel, Miss Bohemian Soul, the Harriet of Black people in the tiny house
Community.
movement.
Yeah.
So yes, there are some options here. I'm not as familiar with them as maybe some other people might be,
Okay.
but we have one particular development called the Nook,
Okay.
Nook, and it is in the city, and it's a tiny house concept,
Okay.
but it's in a high-rise building. I
Uh,
think the building is ultimately going to be like 8 floors. The project will be, I always try not to call things projects. I'll tell you, listen, I'm traumatized. Look, Black people don't want to live in projects. Call it development, damn it. So the development is it's going to be like 8 stories, and there are these cool, amazing, tiny units that have like hideaway, refrigerator, stove, and everything. Super, super cute. And they are available for less than 200,000. Some of them are less than like 150, I believe. That's something we should probably talk about, is that Panama is not the least expensive place in Central or South America to live.
yeah.
It's not. Don't come here and expect to get an apartment in the city for $450.
Right.
It just and you know what? I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Absolutely, actually, it is unacceptable for you to come this far out your way and be that uneducated about where you're going. I understand that we want to make some moves and everything like that, but let me be clear. There is nothing better than an educated consumer. And
Yeah.
there is absolutely nothing that we have to be ignorant about in these day and times. So to come to Panama and say, well, I thought apartments on Avenue de Balboa were $600 a month, that just don't make no sense to me.
And you have
There's
so
too
much
much
information
information
now. You
out
have
there.
so much information
Yes.
now to get the information. YouTube, Facebook communities, tours, relocation tours. There's so many ways for you to get the information that you need. And I did promise that you will have some financial tips. So I'm glad you brought that up. What is there a to live there, to become a resident there? Is there a income process that you have to go through?
Well, it depends on what visa you get. And
Okay,
I always leave those conversations to my
right,
experts, glad
exactly.
to give you their links.
But there is a
But the
requirement.
most, yes, there is the most, the for the pensionado visa, which is the most popular here in Panama. The minimum income that you have to show, the minimum pension income that you have to show is $1,000 a month.
Right.
Okay. Some of the other ones, some of the other programs, it might mean an investment.
Okay.
You might have to make a $200,000 investment. There are different types of visas that you can get that have different monetary requirements attached to it. So you can, there's a lot. I always put people with the attorneys because there are so many options that you want to speak to a professional that does this every day and deals with all kind of visas to make sure that you're pursuing the one that is going to work the best for you.
Okay. So for people who think, oh, I can just come there and get a job, right? I could just come there and get a job. Is that a possibility?
No,
No.
no. I'm gonna go with a no. Absolutely not. That's another thing. Panama has protected professions, and it's like almost all of them. So they protect the jobs here for their people. And I wish that the US would have taken that on a little bit. Because I don't know, it's very hard to find a US born doctor, these days in Panama, whereas you will not find doctors here that are not Panamanian born or Panamanian citizens. You
Yes.
cannot come here with your doctor degree and be a doctor here. Mm-mm. There are ways around it, and even if you have a corporation or a business here, it's like a requirement of 90%. You got to hire like 90% Panamanians. But there are ways to be able to work here, and that's something you should talk to with the attorney. You can
Yes.
incorporate your business here, and that gives you some flexibility and gives you the right to work. I have a corporation in Panama.
Okay.
And I have a corporation in Panama, and I have a corporation in the United States. In Panama, one of the other ways that you can do business here is you want to partner with other Panamanians, because that is one way to be able to break into business opportunities when it comes to doing work here as well, because it's a challenge.
Right.
And what I started to see with the Black expats was almost a crab in the barrel type situation, where people sell their house, they got six figures sitting in the bank, and they like, whoop whoop, I'm moving to Panama, I'm gonna chill, I'm on Avenida Balboa, and that money starts to run out. So when that money starts to run out, they start looking around like, where am I going to get more money?
Uh-huh.
And they start looking at what other people are doing as opposed to just trying to create something on their own. There are so many opportunities to create here because everything that we're doing in the US is not necessarily done here.
Yes.
So we created, so I do not let businesses advertise on our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is almost 9,500 strong, and that's with declining a lot of people, but it's almost 9,500 strong. I don't feel no responsibility whatsoever to you to build your business. I'm sorry. I don't feel that responsibility. Quite frankly, I don't appreciate it when people expect me to allow them to market on my page, never even saying, do you want to collaborate on something
And
or
that's all
anything
they
like
do. They don't interact with the people on the page. They
that.
don't
Nope.
engage people on the page. They just want to. They
No.
You can't. First of all, you can't get anything if you don't give anything. That's number one.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
all about reciprocity, right?
Yes.
As a business owner, you need to know what reciprocity is. You
You
need to be
do.
practicing reciprocity at all times. So
At
yeah.
all times. You
Hmm.
can't expect that. And so, but what I do is, and then there are some things that I would like to do, or the admins would like to do, but we got to be fair across the board. But
Yes.
quite frankly, if you are a great supporter of Black expats in Panama, more than likely you're going to get a little bit more play
And
on
you
that, in
because
that group.
the community, if you are a part of the community, you get business by
Yeah.
engaging in the community, right? You don't have
Yes.
to promote on the page.
Mm-mm.
Be a part of the community. They know what you offer. That's how
Yeah.
you, it's authentic connection. That's how you
That
grow.
is. Well, what we did was we created a group called the B2B network. And
Okay.
that allows people who are coming into the country who want to do business to be able to say, listen, I'm here. It's all about creating synergistic relationships.
Yes.
Don't come to my meetup to compete with me.
Yes.
Okay. Basically, what we want to figure out is we
How can
have
we
this
work
group
together?
of people, how we can work together.
Yes.
You're doing what you do. Like a perfect example of that is, somebody who's a hairstylist, hooking up with somebody who's a makeup artist. Bam. You
Right.
got the same clients. You got women that are getting married that need a hair and makeup done. That is synergistic. It's the
Yes.
same client that you're not competing for,
Yes.
but that you're serving and you're working synergistically together. So I really try to encourage that. So the B2B network meetup, it meets the second Wednesday at the Global Hotel at the 54 East restaurant at 6:30 p.m. Come on out, introduce your business, meet the people who are doing business, meet Panamanians who
Yes.
want to do business with us, and
Yes.
realize that you can't do business a
By
lot
yourself.
of days without them. You
Yes.
need to have alliances and a community, and you need to be around people who can help you develop ideas. Don't be afraid to have a new idea.
Yes. Um, Phyllis Phyllis says, "Can you talk about the experts that come to speak to folks on the in the Beep tour? Attorney, real estate agents, black doctors, etc." I think we went over that earlier. She, described it. We can't really get into it specifically and breaking it down. Just know the people who are watching that these are the types of professions. You have an attorney, a real estate agent, a black doctor. I guess we got 5 minutes. 5 minutes to talk about how these added people to your tours can help people relocate.
Well, I mean, I think that they do what they do. The attorney is going to guide you on creating a corporation or becoming a resident.
Yeah.
The real estate is going to guide you on understanding how real estate works in Panama. If you need our real estate company that we work with, House Hunters Panama, they are not only they do sales, they do rentals, and they do property management.
Okay.
So, they're full service and they have an attached law firm in the J Dub hotel. I mean, they're right. They have a full service. So whereas we use our attorneys, Prime Solution Tax and Legal for our immigration and corporate stuff, the real estate stuff we keep directly with House Hunters Panama because that's what they do every day.
Okay.
So that's that. So you got the attorneys there, you got all that information. The realtors are on the bus with us 2 days. 2 days that we're doing the tours, the real estate
Oh, so
tours.
they're going around the neighborhoods with you on the
They
bus.
go, oh yes, they go to, we go, they're with us. They can answer your questions. They show us the places, interact with the sales agents on the other ends. The Dr. Duncan, smart clinic and labs, just amazing. Afro-Panamanian brother, he went out on his own last year. 90+% of his practice now is black expats in Panama.
Wow.
Wow. Yes, indeedy. And they love him so much because he is a straight up medical doctor.
Yes.
Okay. But he'll go, and I told him, Dr. D, I'm going on a cruise because he's my doctor too. My doctor, my husband's doctor, and we have other doctors through the military. But Dr. D is our guy. And he says to me, he said, I said, I'm going on a cruise. I don't want to get sick. I heard maybe I should get some COVID shot or flu shot or whatever. And he was like, yeah, okay. So you can also eat berries and citrus for breakfast. Get
Yes.
yourself some rest.
Come
Drink
on.
plenty of water.
Yes.
Yes. So that is what I love about him, the smart part. So he has given black expats a new lease on life because, first of all, he spends a ton of time with them. the consultation, do the blood, the lab work, and then he gives them incentive and instructions on how to take control of their own health. He'll give you medicine if
Yes.
you need medicine, but it's not there's just medicine. So he
Yes.
has a more holistic. So then we also have the moving company, understanding how you move things, what can be moved, what can't be moved is very important. We have an insurance agent, understanding insurance, understanding that if you buy a house in Panama, you're going to have a life insurance that goes with that. What kind of life insurance should you get? Health insurance. You come here, your insurance is not working here. You need to understand what policies in health insurance that's offered here in Panama. They're the ones to talk to you, answer all your questions, let you know what the guidelines and terms and conditions. So that's what we do that night. And then you'll have a brochure with all of their contact information in your swag bag, and you get to ask them questions that night and beyond. So you meet them face to face.
Thank you, Phyllis, for asking that question. That was a great explanation of what all the services. I don't know if you can't have any more questions. She covered everything. You see what you are getting. You see her personality exudes through the screen. What more can you ask for a tour host for a relocation tour? If Panama is on your list, baby, get there. I'm coming. I'm coming.
I
It
can't
is on
wait.
my scouting list. I can't wait. I wish it wasn't sold out. I can't make it to April, but we're gonna look at the next available dates.
Yes,
Um,
please do.
Amina said, God say the same. I'm doing the September tour. Okay, can't wait. Maybe
Mhm.
I'll join you in September, Amina.
September's a good month. I love September because September is right before our break. And
Okay.
so it's our last tour until December. We
Okay.
do not tour in October in November. So if you want to get in by September, or you'll have to wait until December.
It's gonna be.
October and November is a little mushy here
Mm-hmm.
during those months, and I don't want you to come and not be able to
I don't like
experience what you
mushy.
have planned.
Mm-mm. I don't like mushy. And I have some my cousin. I know she's watching this. Maybe she can make the September with me. I don't know
Yes,
what her schedule
that
looking
would
like,
be
but I'm
nice.
geeked. You have sold this, baby. You have sold Panama. You have sold these tours. Um, I don't think there's any other questions. Thank you, Charlotte. I'm so
Thank
happy we finally did
you. Me too. I'm so happy. And I want to remind people that we're back at our events. We took a hiatus on our monthly or regular events for December. So tonight at the Daiquiri 23, which is owned by a Black expat in Panama and an Afro Panamanian here, they host our Welcome Wednesday every third Wednesday, and that's tonight at 6 p.m. at Daiquiri 23 in El Cangrejo. It's right behind Tourist State Alba. And it's just a place for you to come and chill and see people you haven't seen, greet new people that is passing through. So definitely want to try to get over there for that tonight. The other thing that we do is cafe conversation. I always tell these over and over because it's just easier for you to know what we're doing before.
this.
Just mark your calendar.
Yes.
Every fourth Sunday, we have a meetup at Granny Venia Hotel, which is again in El Cangrejo. It's a brunch at 11:30. We practice speaking Spanish, y'all. It's just a simple thing, but people really just need to be brave enough to get up and say something. So it's just a
Yes.
safe environment where we introduce ourselves in Spanish, and we've added a few more things to that. And again, it's also a safe place for you to come and meet more Black expats. We have a lot of these events because we have a lot of people who are here alone, and I always want you to feel safe.
And
Mhm.
included, and to give you opportunities to meet one another.
A
People are,
safe environment.
yes, and people are thanking you, thanking us. Before you go, guys, if you enjoyed this conversation like I did, please like this video, please share. with other women who you think would like this video. If you are already in Panama, this was a great sales pitch. She did a great job selling
This
Panama.
wasn't no sales pitch. We were just kicking it.
She
We
did
were
it.
just kicking it.
She did a great job, baby. I was not prepared. Share this with somebody who wasn't thinking about Panama, but now you see they need to think about Panama. Phyllis is thinking everything sounds amazing. Looking forward to attending the tour soon.
I'll
Okay.
see you on the tour, Phyllis. I think she's coming in February. I
Yes.
think Phyllis is in
I think
February.
that's what she said earlier. Thank you, Phyllis, for joining me. So yeah, like the video, subscribe if you like this content. My channel is all about motivating women of the African diaspora to step out no matter what age, 20, 30, 40, to do something different, to choose another path, to dream another dream.
Yeah.
We're all about reinvention here. We can all become whatever you can create the life that you want to live at any
Mm.
stage of your life. So that's what we're here to do today. I hope this video inspired you to do just that. Thank you for coming, guys. Charlotte, stay on
Bye.
with me.
Thank you.